I saw my first cowboys in Madison Square Garden in a rodeo in the garden in 1939. 1940. 1940. I was 9 years old. And the announcer said things like, "The only way you can kill a cowboy is to cut off his head and hide it someplace where he can't find it." And I thought that was a joke. I later found out that it wasn't a joke. It's true. But I got to go into the rodeos every year. My parents made the mistake of taking me to the rodeo when I was young and impressionable. And I sure wanted to be a cowboy ever since that day. It was like September 22nd, 1940. Gene Autry was the singing star. You know, "I'm back in the saddle again." And he, of course, wore that big white hat and he rode that pretty horse. He came bursting into the light, having ridden his horse over a jump through a hoop that was pasted shut with a big sheet of white paper around it. So all you saw was the white circle in the entrance to the arena, and suddenly the horse comes bursting right through the paper into the spotlight, and it's Gene smiling at a gallop, takes his hat off, you know, and waves his hat at the crowd and gallops around the arena a time or two. Before that, just as a kind of a pre-thing, they had about 6 cowgirls. One of them was Tad Lucas, and the girls had 7-inch hat brims, and their hats were painted with luminous paint, and the arena was blacked out, dark, no lights, but they had black light shining down from above. And the girls were driving a herd of about 20 longhorn steers, and their horns were painted with luminous paint. So all you could see was the hat brims of the 6 girls and the horns of about 20 pairs of long horns. And I mean, they were all over 6 feet long from tip to tip. And they drove that herd around in a circle in the arena and stopped them and bedded them down. They all laid down like they were going to sleep in the middle of the arena. And then Gene came bursting in through the spotlight, rides around a time or two around the arena, stops in the middle, off to the side of where the herd was bedded down. A microphone came reeling down from the ceiling, which is about 100 feet above the ground. Microphone comes down, lands just over Gene's head. He gets off his horse, and his Canadian trainer holds the horse off outside the light. Well, Gene steps into the light, and he's got somebody straps his guitar on for him. And I think he had a fiddle player and an accordion player and a bass player backing him up. I know that guitar player once gave me $10 when I was busking near Madison Square Garden years later. Gene would perform one year, and then Roy Rogers would be the live singing star horseback in the Madison Square Garden Rodeo alternate years for the next 4, 5, or 6 years. And that was all during World War II. And I went to the rodeo every year from 40, 41, 42, 43, 45. And when I was 15, I ran away from home and got a job grooming horses on a traveling rodeo. I was going to be a cowboy.